Hey you guys, and welcome to my April TBR and my hashtag yearathon TBR as well. And for hashtag yearathon, the theme is fantasy and sci-fi. So most of the books that I picked this month probably either fall into like really the fantasy category, except for one or two. One falls into sci-fi, one doesn't fall into either of them, I believe. So because usually I read last month, but I did the opposite of what the theme was. The theme was bench warmers, books that have been on your shelf for a very long time, and I basically bought all new books and read them. So I did read for the readathon, just didn't read the theme I was supposed to because I try not to force it. But this month, I'm really hoping to get to these books I picked. Plus, there are like 3 books from my last TBR on this TBR, and I'm gonna guess that you can guess at least 2 of them, because if you guys saw it, you'll be like, really? You probably weren't gonna read it. But there are reasons for everything. So the first book that's on my TBR, it's just also from last month, so technically there are 4, is the 100 by Kass Morgan, and it's on my phone, so I can't show it to you because I forgot to like pull it up and everything first. But I'm reading this one with Ashley from acbsgotbookcitement, and I'm currently on chapter like 7, 8, and she's like a little couple of chapters ahead of me. We're going slow with this one, but hey, slow and steady wins the race. Please, we're buddy reading. So that's nice. So that means that we didn't get to the second one last month, and we didn't get to Hemlock Grove, but we're slowly making our way through 100, and we'll continue on with the other ones. So we'll see how that goes. The other book from last month was Poison Study by Snyder, and I actually didn't read this one on purpose because we decided to read it in April, the people I'm reading it with, and we're supposed to be doing a live show. Hopefully we'll have an announcement video by the end of the month, so that way you guys can know all the details. So if you guys haven't already read it, please read it, and look forward to seeing you and discussing it. So the next book, 2 books from last month, are, you can guess, is A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Meyer and Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna and Clarke. I have like a box set. It's just broken all into 3 books, but really it's 1 book. I really want to get to these last month, but sadly I hit a bit of a fan fiction snag. I know some of you guys are probably not surprised, but what happened was I had just finished reading some actual bench warmers. They were the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy. I had finished it, and then I went on some 50 Shades of Grey fan fiction kick, and believe me, I know the irony right there that I was reading fan fiction of a book that was based off of fan fiction. Inception, Alyssa so plainly said to me. So I'm hoping to at least read one of these this month, and they both definitely fall into fantasy category, as well as Poison Study, I believe. The next book that I would like to get to is Dear Killer by Katherine Ewell. So I really wanted to read this. I was like looking for a book that may be a fast, easy read, and so I picked up this one. I haven't heard really great things about it, but I really have wanted to been reading it. So hopefully it will be fast, as I think it will probably be. And from what I heard, I think it will for me as well. And I hope I'll end up liking it, unlike a lot of other people. So there we go. So the next book I picked up was Moth and Spark by Leonard. Look at that beautiful cover. It's about this land where like there's dragons who want to be set free or something, and then there's a prince and he falls in love with the commoner, and of course there's a war and there is a quest. So I'm really looking forward to this, despite the less than savory reviews that I've been reading, because you know it's a standalone, it is fantasy, and it's hard to find a standalone fantasy sometimes, although I have quite a few of them, so maybe I shouldn't say that a lot. But I'm looking forward to this, and I believe Dear Killer is also a standalone. Sorry about the train that you can obviously hear. So the next book that I have to talk to you guys about is Blood and Chocolate by Annette Klause. This will be a reread for me. I read it a long time ago, I read it over and over a long time ago, then I didn't have a copy anymore, and then so I just borrowed my friend's, since I'm trying to stick to that non-buying thing, but I will probably eventually get my own copy. But I did really want to reread it, and so I could talk about it with you guys, because there was also like a crappy movie. This would be the crappy movie. Well, book to movie wise, it was really crappy. I think maybe on its own it might have been like a good movie, but like they said it was based off this book, and that was not what happened in that movie. Don't you hate it when that happens? And I believe this falls more into the paranormal fantasy part, but hey, it's still like fantasy, right? Because it has werewolves and stuff. The next book is one I want to finish reading, and it is Cress by Marissa Meyer, and I am like right here on page 310. I've not picked it up since the last time I talked to you guys about it. That's part of the problem. I think the other part of the problem is that I ended on Captain Thorn. Like, I finished his chapter, then I didn't feel the motivation to pick it back up again, because then I thought, well, winter doesn't come out for a very long time, so I have to stop thinking like that. Plus, I really want to get Ferris, so I have to finish reading this, because I'm really trying to stick to that, read all the books in the series before I continue with the sequel, hopefully, in some cases, not all cases, as you guys will see, but definitely in this. Plus, my friend read like Cinder and Scarlet, and she probably wants this one. She probably doesn't even know I have it, but I do, so I need to give that to her sometime soon so we can discuss. And then the next book I have is Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. This is another reread for me. I read it a long time ago and loved it. I just, awesome. So I want to reread it so I can continue on with the series. I have Sweet Peril and Sweet Reckoning, so I want to read all 3 books, and then that way I cannot feel guilty when I want to purchase the 4th book that I heard that's coming out, that I'm so excited. Plus, it will give me another series to end on, like, yeah, just finished. So the next 2 books are Buddy Reads with Geraldine from Starry on 72, and the first one is The Winter's Curse by Marie Rutkoski. I remember I pre-ordered this book, and I was so excited, and I was going to read it right away, and I never did. And months later, you know where I see it? On Book Outlet for like $4, and it just hurt my soul just a little bit. But still, this is about this girl, and she's a general's daughter, and one day she's at a market, and there are slaves there, and she buys one that she feels bonded to or whatever, and then that just sets it a chain of events in action. So this is one of the buddy reads. This one is probably the second one we'll probably get to, mainly because I want to get to the first 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North first. But I believe this falls into fantasy, right? But this one falls into the sci-fi aspect. It's about this guy, Harry August, who keeps dying and is being reborn over and over again, and he's just kind of going through that cycle until one time during one of his life, when he's close to death, some girl comes to him and tells him that he has a message for her, and it just sets off this chain of events that happens, I guess, in his next lives or whatever. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I've heard like awesome things about it, so hopefully I will find it awesome as well. So the next book that I have that I'm really trying hard to let go and finish series, and in some cases, it just means me rereading the first one and continuing on, but in some cases it just means that I need to get over my, oh my god, I don't want the series to end, and I can think of 2 off the bat, and one of them is in my hand right now, and that is The Blood of Olympus by Riordan. Especially since I've been seeing people everywhere reading Percy Jackson or just starting the Heroes of Olympus. I love this series, and I just don't want this group of friends, this world right here. I just want to know more about them and just like expand, but I think it's time to let it go and just finally read it, and just it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I know some people like the ending and some people didn't like the ending, but I am strong and I can do this, and it will be another series finished, and I can make a completed video and just be like, I finished the series, and that is it. Those are all the books that I have to show you. You guys let me know down below if you guys have read any of these books, and I believe this one falls into the fantasy category as well, right? And what you guys thought of them, what you loved, you hate it, what you guys plan to read this month. Are you guys joining me in the #yearathon? Let me know down below. I'll link the #yearathon group down below for those of you who don't know what it is, but we basically just do a readathon for the first full week in each month at the beginning of each month. So yeah, so sci-fi, fantasy, I'm on it. And of course it's subject to change as well, because you know me, I like to add or subtract books, so grain of salt. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.